What's going on, y'all? So this is Hollywood Divas Season 3, Episode 3, No Laughing Matter. And let's just get right into it. Okay, Paula, she goes over Carmen house. That's her comedian friend. We're going to use the word comedian loosely because we'll get there. Because I guess, everybody can put a title behind their name and don't even really have to be what they represent. Okay, anyway. She basically telling her everything that happened with meeting up with Golden and how Golden really wasn't receptive to her and all that stuff. But she had much more leeway with a better outcome with Countess, and Countess wanted her to, direct her music video and all that stuff. So they talking about that, and they talking about this comedy show that Carmen is having, and she want to invite all the girls to come and everything. And Paul is like, don't go in. Okay, if you're going to go in, don't go in too hard on them. Don't go in too hard on me. I know we know each other, but still, don't go too hard and all that stuff. And I'm just like, all right. And I just knew right in there it was like a setup because Paula knew what was going to happen. Paula knows this girl. These girls don't know her, know Carmen like that. And that's what comedians do. Comedians, they go and they find stuff and they go off of what's been out there, whatever, whether they know the person or not, and they go in. Unless you have that type of relationship with the person that you're going in on, they understand that, they get it. But to have them sitting right there and you going in on stuff that you really don't know about, and it's just rumors and stuff like that, and you bringing their business up, like, who wants to hear that? But that's the risk that you take when you go to a comedy club, because some comics, they will go in on whoever's in the audience, whether it's a regular person or a celebrity or whatever. Y'all see how Kevin Hart be going in on Shaquille O'Neal on his comedy specials and stuff like that. So I understand that. But he made it funny. Okay? This girl, on the other hand, we'll see. And Paula was just, see, this is why don't nobody like you, Paula. You are like, you throw your hand, and then you hide it. Okay, you throw a rock and then you hide your hand because you want to make it be like, why y'all not doing this? Why y'all still mad at me? Why y'all still not talking to me? Why y'all still talking about this? And oh my God, I'm such a victim. I didn't do anything. I don't know. But you sitting here with this girl and you basically egging her on a little bit. Just listen to her. She's egging it on, and then in her confessionals, she's basically waiting. She's salivating. She can't wait to get to this comedy club and see this girl go in on the rest of them. That's basically what I got from her. Because, she was like, I can take it. Me and my Hennessy. She knew the girl wasn't going to go in hard on her because she's actually friends with her like that. She knew that shit. So, after that, they wind up going to the scene with Malika. Well, Countess meeting up with Malika at the gym. And, they was about to use their trainer, whatever. So at this point in time, they start talking about some misunderstandings about the fact that Paula told her about because the conversation started off cute. It started off with being calm, cool, collected, no attitude, no nothing of the such. They was talking about the fitness and all that stuff. Fine. I need to get me a trainer too. I'm gonna get me a trainer, not just yet, but I'm gonna do it probably in a couple months or so. Maybe later. I've been thinking about that for a while, but I just don't know how to go about doing it. You gotta get somebody that you really, really can vibe with or some shit like that. And I'm a cheap bitch. I really don't wanna, not cheap but frugal. I don't wanna. Oh, anyway, moving on. It's not about me. So I just got sidetracked so quick like that. But no, next thing you know, they start going into this whole, I was talking to Paula, or I was talking to so and so, and she told me what you said about, it felt like you have an issue with me saying that, when I first met you, you weren't warm and all this stuff. And I'm just sitting here like, let it go. If Countess didn't bring it up, why are you bringing it up? She let that shit go, even though Countess was mumbling and saying shit in the unconfessional, whatever. And she was basically saying how if you don't listen, to some of the stuff that she say closely, Malika is the type of person that throws subtle shade, okay? The shit that probably will go over your head, And so that's basically what she claims she's been doing. And I can understand how she felt that way, but I just don't feel like Malika is a good fit for this show, period, okay? they arguing, and what's arguing me is because I'm mad Countess is getting involved in arguing and holding grudges and stuff over something so fucking small. Okay, I get that you felt like it was a little bit shady, a little bit condescending or whatever, that she said that you weren't warm, and she was like, girl, I was working, it was on my show, my own show. I was stressed. So that's probably why it didn't come off like I was this warm person or whatever that you wanted me to do. Why you keep harping on it? I understand what Countess is coming from on that end. Malika, she keeps talking about, I just said when my sister was doing a role on your show. I said, your sister was doing a role, not you. But okay, we're gonna leave that alone. But she just kept harping on it. I was like, let that shit go, squash that issue, because it really wasn't nothing to blow up about. See, this is what I can't stand about most freaking reality shows, especially stuff like this. They take the smaller stuff and try to make a big issue and make that like the big blowout of the whole show or whatever. This ain't shit to be getting upset with or being in your feelings with. Malika, you won't need to be in your feelings about it. It was a long time ago. Countess, it was a long time ago. Countess pissed off because she like the girl, this like the second time the girl brought up something that she had no memory of. Okay, maybe she remembered and you just forgot. That's basically it. Who's to say she's really lying? Maybe that's just how she felt, at the time. Okay, you can't really say that she's right or wrong for feeling away. You know what I'm saying? That's how she personally felt. You were not welcoming. Okay, you told her you probably was just under a lot of stress. All right. The Parkers was like what? Early 2000s? Come on, that's over with. We're in 2016. This probably was filmed in 2015. Let that shit go. Let that shit go. Move the fuck on, okay? And so, they let it go, moved on, whatever. And so they started doing a little exercising. Malika, she goes to this guy, I guess an agent or whatever, to basically, I don't know if it was an agent or a manager or whatever, and trying to get some feedback on how her movie did, the divorce movie or whatever. And basically what he said they were saying was that she was basically playing herself. Okay? And she needs to stop that. She needs to open up. She needs to, really get in tune and take this acting thing serious. Okay? He was like, did you go learn your lines? Did you go get the acting coach? Did you go do this? Did you go do that? She's like, no. I was going to go shopping after this, but I guess I got to go do this and I got to do that. So you get on this show that's supposed to supposedly try to help put you back out there and reboot your career. And see, this is how I know you're not serious about this stuff, because you do be on the Kardashian, and when you be on there, you be up under Chloe and shit. Ain't nothing wrong with supporting your friend or whatever, but you also, they on there working on their show. You're not. You're not. You're so comfortable being on under them, working for them, working at their stores, instead of just going out and, pursuing what you're supposed to be pursuing, what you claim you love. You love acting, right? But you just a sidekick. Bitch, I'm just like, they did call her. Countess said at that confessional, do you know what it's like to be a child star? Because she was a child star. Let's not get it twisted. Countess got money from 227, okay, and probably even further than back, a little bit back further than that. Guest appearance on all these other shows when she was younger, okay. On up, she had at least 3 main successful sitcoms, okay? 3, 227, Moesha, and the Parkers, all right. And let's not forget all the other stuff. That's not even adding all the other guest appearances that she had throughout the years and stuff like that. So I was just like, okay, Council said, maybe she don't know, do you know what it's like to be a child star? Or baby, do you know what it's like to be a star? I said, bitch, that was shade of the night for me from Council. That was shade of the night for me. That was cute. That was cute. I like that. I like that. I like that. I like that. DJ fucking Khaled. If y'all look at him on Snapchat and y'all see him talking to his baby, I could not be his girlfriend. I couldn't, because I'd be like, nigga, get the fuck. She do be talking to him like that, though. She'd be like, get away from me. But he'd be like, I love you, son. I like that. It just sounds so creepy and so pedophilic. It just, But anyway, telling her to get out her own way. So she goes and she's supposed to be doing her whole, studying for the lines and all this stuff, or getting prepared to go over them with her friend Dorian. He comes over. She was like, she's on a computer shopping for some shoes. And for once, Dorian didn't even piss me off this scene because he was telling her, bitch, you need to get your ass up out there. You need to go do what you need to do. What I just said. This is what you want to do. Get up off this computer. You up here spending money on these shoes. You need to get your ass out here acting so you can have money to buy this shit. Okay? Before your ass be out on the motherfucking street and shit. What got me was that she said that she could have got an acting coach, but he's an actor too. I'm trying to go back into my recollection and see what have I seen him on besides College Hill and maybe a couple of episodes of Keeping Up with the Kardashians once again under Chloe. I'm even trying to go back to my gay porn stuff. I'm not seeing. Maybe he was one of the ones with the mask on his face getting pounded. I don't know. Okay, so I was just a little confused and taken aback by that. Anyway, so she's basically having this little breakdown, like, I don't know because I just don't know how to do this without my sister. It's like, it's so scary to do it without my sister. I'm like, girl, I get it. Y'all was born together. You got that twin thing, but it comes a time in your life that, you can't always be together. Tia and Tamara was on the show together, okay? They separated. They separated doing their own damn things, got their own family, and it's time for you, and they went their own direction. You got to cut that cord. You got to put forth the effort to start to change and start to put yourself out there a little bit more and start to, break away so you can feel more comfortable doing stuff, whether it's small, you take baby steps or whatever, but sitting back and just, harping on the fact that your sister is not there with you doing stuff, it ain't gonna always be no damn roles, for you to be playing, both of y'all to be playing twins and shit. We tired of that stuff as it is, okay? Been there, done that, and you too grown to be doing that bullshit anyway. And it ain't bullshit, but I'm just saying, you know what I'm saying? I'm personally tired of seeing it, but it is what it is. So your sister, Khadijah, she done grew up, went on ahead and did what she had to do. Okay, she got married, she got a family, she got kids and all that stuff. They making it do what it do. She ain't crying about this and crying about that. Well, I don't know, but you just need to get out your own way. You need to grow up, suck it up, and just go ahead and do it. Quit sitting there crying about it, and waddling in it, and not trying to listen to what people say. That's not gonna get you out of it. Okay, that's gonna just that's an excuse. That's an excuse for you not to go ahead and do shit what you need to do. All right. So, we got this shit with Lisa Wu. She go meet up with her brother, talking about, getting together with somebody. She started talking about the date that she had or meeting up with Jansen, Antwood, Wade. I'm going to call him Wade. That's who I'm talking about. Wade from North Ark. So they go out on a little date, right? And she was like, so why does your car got this bumper sticker called I love vagina? Like, if you a straight man, why do you have that? Now, let me be quite honest. I don't think he's gay, but it's a possibility that he could be bisexual. All right, because it's a lot of straight people that play gay roles and more than once or whatever, and they be straight as hell. Okay, sometimes that's what they do. And Lisa started going in and saying because he said he did play a gay character here, there, whatever, and so it was just a joke that his brother or his cousin or whatever put out there, that he liked vagina and all this stuff, and I was just like, okay, Wade. Wade. That's how Noah used to be saying. Wade. Papa. Y'all, let me tell you something. If you have never seen Noah's Ark, go watch it, all right? Find it somewhere and go watch it. Look on the Logo channel or whatever. Go watch Noah's Ark and then watch Noah's Ark Jump in the Brook, the movie. I fucking love that series. I wish it would have had more than 2 seasons. But anyway, Ricky was a hoe. I love Alex so much on that show because he reminds me so much of my uncle. May he rest in peace. And he was just so hilarious. Oh my God, what's the Tagaga bitch? Okay, that's what I got. That is where I got when y'all used to hear me say Bujina. That's where I got that shit from. Okay, pay homage and give credit to where you've heard it first. Okay, Melania Trump. All right, that's what you do. I just gave credit. That's what you do. All right, move on. So after that, they do a little hang gliding or whatever the fuck it is that they was doing. And she's a little concerned about the gay role and all that stuff, but because he said he didn't want to, he turned down some roles, especially with the gay shit, because he didn't want to be typecast as this straight actor that plays gay roles and all this stuff. And I was like, okay. Then here go Lisa Wu. Yeah, I turned down some roles too. They wanted me to play this role in this movie, but they wanted it nudity, and I wasn't comfortable with that. And that's why when I was in the internship with Will Ferrell, I said the intern or some shit that she was in. I said, "Girl, you turned down roles." Now, Lisa, okay, if that's what you say, that's what you say. Then we get this meeting with Countess trying to meet up with Paula. Last week, after Countess had that conversation with Paula, she basically told Paula, you know what? I like the fact that you know how to direct or whatever, and I want you to direct my music video. Paula was throwing type of shade, saying, even though I know it's probably going to be free and all this stuff, okay, if you wanted to charge her, you should have put that out there. All right, fine. I hate bitches that talk behind and act like it's an issue after the fact, after you agree or whatever. I don't like that shit. Like, put the issues all out there, And so, they sitting down there. Next thing you know, Forrest pop up. And then, Countess like, the last time I seen Forrest and we was at a restaurant or whatever, he was about to throw some ketchup and shit like that. And so, after that, they talking and talking about the direction of which song it is. And then Countess still has a nice little voice. She was humming and singing. It wasn't the best, but it was still nice. And I was like, okay, she still got it there. She still got it. She's not going to let this little voice shit hinder her. Fine. Studio work can do, studio and technology these days can do a whole lot of shit. So, next thing everything was going all right, but I was still confused as to why Forrest was there. I said, my main thing was Countess asked Paula, not Forrest and Paula. Okay, that was my thing. I said, damn, Paula, you can't go nowhere without him. Oh, I'm her partner. What? I said, Countess, you really finna go through with this? And then here go what Countess fucked up at. All of a sudden, this girl, transgender woman, whatever, transgender woman, Savannah shows up. That's Countess' friend. Now I don't know if she was her manager, if she was a stylist, or whatever the fuck it was. I was with Paula on that. Who the fuck is she? Okay, so she's sitting there, and next thing you know, she asking these questions, and we confused because she was just coming out her mouth, and she was just being a little rude with it. I said that's a little bit disrespectful. Okay, I may not like Paula and Forrest, but they are a married couple, and you asking some rude ass questions, and then I'm sitting here like, Countess, check your motherfucking friend. But then it was like tit for tat because after that happened, Savannah talking about eating Forrest hot dog in a video, whatever. And then Forrest was like, no, you don't do that. And Paula was like, you don't do that to a married couple, whatever. And then in the confessional, Paula, she irked me and was a little, I found it disrespectful a little bit because they was talking about hot dogs. Next thing you know, she's in the confessional saying, Miss Monkey, Mr. Monkey, Mr. Lady or Lady Monkey or whatever, take your banana and eat it somewhere. I said, where did that come from? All right. I was a little offended by that because you're basically saying she. Okay, that's what you're saying. Then the monkey thing and then the banana. I was like, say the hot dog, okay? That was a little rude to me. But that bitch was being rude too. So, I don't know if it equals it out, okay? I can't call one out and not call the other. But then they was talking some more and they told her, that's being a little bit, much. This is my husband, we in love. She talked about something, I don't believe in love. Okay, bitch, we didn't ask you all that. They didn't ask you all that. Next thing he was like, Forrest calls him brother. And he gets in his feelings, her feelings or whatever because of that. And that's understandable. Because I think Forrest was trying to do that on purpose. Because then he going to put out there, talk about some, I call everybody brother. No, you don't. You don't call no female brother. You did that shit on purpose. It was a tit for tat. That's what the fuck it was. Let's just call it what it was and be fucking real for once, okay? And then you cleared it up trying to make it seem like you didn't. You did it by accident and, you're not homophobic. You probably not homophobic, but I'm pretty sure you said brother on purpose, okay? Your wife did that same shit last year when she called her boy girl on purpose to piss him off. You know what I'm saying? So, that was that. What else wound up happening? I'm fast forwarding it to see some shit. Because I don't want to miss some. They go there. They go there. This da 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 da. Do 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 do. Boop, keep boop, keep boop, keep boop, keep boop, keep boop. It's time for the comedy show. And the girls go upstairs. They all meet up. They was like, girl, let me tell you. Paula can't wait. Paula can't wait because she knows some shit gonna go down. She is just wait. She just cheesing and everything. Golden said she met the girl Carmen before, and she was trying to tell Paula was trying to tell her, go easy, because I don't think some of the girls gonna like it if you do something. And she was like, fuck this, it's a comedy show. Don't it's just a joke. If they can't dish it, you need to be able to take a fucking joke. And I'm like, all right, excuse me, bitch. Okay. So they go up there. Next thing you know, Countess comes sit down because it was Lisa, it was Golden, it was Paula. And, the girl get up there, she got this cat suit on, right? So Paula goes, she was like, we got some divas in the house, and there go my friend Paula. Y'all know her. She played just about every black role in every black film or whatever, every ghetto bitch or whatever, Friday, this and Hustle and Flow. She could play a hoe real good, but she not a hoe in real life. She married with a family. And that was it about her. Then she went in about Girlfriend, and she was like, Golden Brooks, she was on Girlfriends. It was like, damn, bitch, for 8 years, you was like my girlfriend or whatever. Are you my friend or whatever? I'm sitting here like, where's the joke at? Okay, I don't know if that was her whole set, but I was waiting to laugh and all that stuff, and I was still waiting. And then, she talked about Countess. She was like, girl, you did that. You went from 227 to 187 with your nip and tuck and all that stuff. Now, let's work on some better wigs. Okay, that was cute. Countess took that in stride. She wasn't even offended by that. I thought she was about to get up and say some shit, but she didn't. Okay, she let that shit slide off the bat. That's what you do in a comedy show. You let it slide off because they're going to do some shit sometimes like that. And it was PG-13 or whatever. Then she started going in on Lisa Wu. She didn't necessarily make no jokes about her. All she did was start quoting some shit that was out there about the rumors with, Rudy Huxtable taking her man and doing all this shit, and you should be this and you should be that. Even Lisa, she took it in stride, and I was like, okay, fine. But bitch, when she got to Malika, she was like, man, I wish Malika was here. Y'all know Malika. You probably don't know her name, but you know that she like a Kardashian sidekick. She like Khloe Kardashian sidekick. The one that all the black friend or whatever that's always there, mopping up behind her, whatever the fuck she said. Bitch, I laughed. I laughed a little bit because I said, yep. Because I didn't see no lie. As soon as I said that shit, bitch, Countess in that confession was like, behind most jokes lies some truth. And well, what was the lie in that? And I said, I'm still searching for it. I can't really find it. And she started going in on Malika a little bit. And it did get a little rude, but the only thing that was irking about that to me was the fact that, I don't think if Malika would have been there, she would have went in as much as she did. So she got that opportunity to go as hard, or quote unquote as hard, if you want to call it that hard. I really don't think, because Malika wasn't there. So of course, Countess felt a little way. Some of them, and Maya, Golden felt a little way for a second, and they go backstage. But when she said something about Countess care, she was like, I could take a joke, just like I could take that camel toe in her cat suit. I said, bitch, that's how you do it, all right? But of course, Golden had to put it out there that it was rude. You don't know us. I can say these things about these girls because I know them, but you don't know us, and all you doing is Googling stuff off the internet. Okay, I see your point. But then when she come back there, Carmen come back there, she trying to say hello. Countess gets in her feeling. I'm literally sitting here thinking that she was upset at Carmen. And she gets ready to go, and she talking some stuff or whatever. And Lisa go out there with her, and she was like, because girl was like, you looking at me? No, she was like, I want looking at you and all this stuff. I have no problem with you. I don't even know you to be mad at you or to be shady at you or whatever. And then we go outside and come to find out Countess is pissed off at Golden. I said, wait a minute, I was confused too. What happened? Y'all tell me what the fuck happened. Bitch, that was Hollywood Divas. Y'all tell me what's up. And I'll see y'all later for Greenleaf. Peace.